Okay, welcome to the Town of Gawler webinar on doing business with council. My name is Renee and I'm the Manager of Finance and Procurement at the Town of Gawler. And council has been undertaking a social media campaign to promote registration with VendorPanel Marketplace. And the focus of this session is to provide local suppliers with information about working with council. So in today's webinar, I'm going to be talking about what local economic benefit is and how council measures it, the different types of goods and services council buys, how council procures these goods and services, including our procurement methods, the evaluation processes, the critical information council needs and some tendering tips, how local suppliers can access opportunities to supply to council through our website and e-procurement platform, VendorPanel. And at the end, there will be an opportunity for participants in the live session to ask questions and provide feedback. Local economic benefit. Council's procurement policy defines local as within the town of Gawler and within 20 kilometres of the town of Gawler. We recognise the impact our operations play in the local economy, yet must remain mindful of the need to provide optimum value for money outcomes through our procurement activities. It's important to understand what value for money is because it's not just about lowest price. When we look at value for money, there are a variety of considerations. These include the efficiency and effectiveness of our procurement activities, whether the goods or services offered are fit for purpose, the whole of life costs associated with the purchase, maintaining good supplier relationships, developing and encouraging competitive local business, risks associated with the supplier relationship, social and environmental benefits, market conditions, and how the activities and outcomes contribute to council's long-term plans and strategic direction. So council supports local economic benefit by actively promoting opportunities to supply to council, structuring our purchase processes to be accessible to local businesses, and giving preference to local suppliers where all other procurement considerations are equal. When looking for suppliers of goods and services, staff are required to look for local suppliers. And when we go to the open market, our procurement policy preferences local supply by applying a minimum of 15% weighting to local economic benefit in our evaluation criteria. To measure local economic benefit, we use three main factors: employment, supply input, and investment. Questions we ask suppliers include the location of the business, whether any employees live in the local area, what percentage of employment labour is from the local area, and are any of their subcontractors or suppliers from the local area. We can divide the goods and services council buys into 6 main categories. The first category is open space and environment, and this includes things like road verge, weed spraying, slashing, plant hire, and the purchase of products like mulch and pesticides. The second category is building construction and maintenance, and this includes the engagement of electricians, plumbers, carpenters, pest control, glass repair, fencing, painting, the installation of solar panels, security services, and the purchase of hardware. The third category is civil infrastructure and services, and this includes the engagement of contractors to construct and maintain roads, curbs, stormwater infrastructure, and footpaths, the purchase of concrete, steel, and pavers, cable location services, and civil waste disposal. The fourth category is community services, and this can include cleaning, home maintenance, and gardening contractors in our Home Assist program, performance artists at the Civic Centre, and school holiday programs. The fifth category is information and communication technology, and this includes computers, iPads and phones, and accessories and repair services. And the sixth category is general goods and services, which includes things like sign writing, graphic design, office supplies, the purchase of and hire of and servicing, of course, of vehicles and machinery, power tools and catering. Council staff can't just go out and buy things however they want. The Local Government Act places legislative requirements on council to have procurement policies and procedures in place. And these documents need to ensure that council undertakes procurement activities in a manner that is accountable and transparent in spending public money, and that all participants are treated fairly and equally. Our procurement policy says what we need to do, and this is a public document available on our website, and the procurement procedures and the evaluation guidelines tell us how to meet these policy requirements. The way council approaches the market will depend on factors including what we are buying, what the supply market is like, the objectives of the procurement, and the dollar value. As a general guideline, for low value, low risk and infrequent purchases, council can go direct to a single supplier up to the value of $30,000. For higher value, higher risk and more frequent purchases, council will seek quotes, a minimum of 3, up to the value of $200,000. This might be a request for a simple price-based quote or an invitation to submit offers, which will then be evaluated against a set of predetermined evaluation criteria. And an open request for tender is required for purchases over the value of $200,000. Council often uses quotes and tender processes to establish long-term arrangements with a single supplier or multiple suppliers known as a panel. Council can then procure goods and services from these suppliers without needing to go through a secondary procurement process. Examples are long-term contracts, including the purchase of office supplies and panel arrangements for marketing and civil consultancy services. When council receives quotes and tenders, it undertakes an evaluation process. Each quote and tender is evaluated against a set of predetermined criteria. The criteria are listed in the market approach document, so it's really clear to businesses what they're going to be evaluated against. Some of these criteria are mandatory, so assessed on a yes or no basis, and these requirements are critical to the delivery, including things like having appropriate licenses, certifications, and insurance. Others are weighted criteria, which are scored based on the strengths of the response. Rated criteria include things like local economic benefit, organisational resources, work health and safety, methodology, quality and environmental systems, experience and referees, customer service, and of course, price. The evaluation process also takes into consideration any risks associated with the supplier's offer. The evaluation panel might contact you to seek clarification on your offer, and it's important to be prepared by familiarising yourself with your own submission, show enthusiasm by being positive and open to exploring options, and be honest because we do our research. Now, council has to protect itself from financial risks, and we've got a duty under the work health and safety legislation. So insurance and work health and safety is really important to us. Because of this, we need suppliers to provide us with evidence of their public liability insurance, and we require a minimum coverage of $20 million, and also evidence of any other relevant insurances such as product and professional indemnity. We also need information about work health and safety. This includes having work health and safety policies and systems in place and demonstrating that you are able to identify, assess, and control hazards. The level of work health and safety information required really depends on the types of goods and services that are being purchased. And my top tips when responding to requests for quotes or tenders are to develop a good capability statement or business profile. So introduce your key people and note their special abilities, provide examples of relevant past work, and identify your key selling points. Answer all the questions in the tender response schedules. Follow the format. Please don't reformat or submit your response in your own format because it does make it really difficult to evaluate. Make sure your response is succinct and cross-reference the specifications and any attachments that you've provided. Emphasize your strengths and clearly detail the advantages of your offer. Provide copies of your certificates of currency for insurance, licenses, and permits. Make sure your methodology clearly details how you will deliver what council wants and addresses any risk and how you will manage that. And provide examples of relevant experience, ensuring that you've contacted your referees to let them know about your tender. And also do your market research so that you submit a price that is competitive, provides a full price breakdown, and highlights any value for money considerations. You can find information about Council's procurement policy and practices on the procurement page of Council's website. We're now using VendorPanel to simplify the way Council seeks quotes and tenders. To make sure your business is visible to Council buyers, you need to register as a supplier on VendorPanel Marketplace. Registration is free and it's easy to do, and I'll just play a quick video now that demonstrates the process. So staff don't always know if there are local suppliers in our area for the goods or services that they're looking for. One of the ways they can search for this is through the VendorPanel Marketplace, and we can actually set geographical locations to show all the businesses that are registered within 20 kilometres of town of Gawler. When we establish a pre-qualified supplier list or a quote or tender is posted, if you're registered to Marketplace, you will receive an email notification that you can log in, download the documents, and provide a response. We will still continue to advertise new open market opportunities on SA Tenders and Contracts, the website, and we'll provide a link to VendorPanel to download the requests and provide responses. Hold on, I'll just try and get to my next slide. Okay. So we've started publishing our forward procurement plan for each financial year on our website, usually around the start of August. The forward procurement plan is based on Council's approved business plan and budget, and also a review of the contracts that are coming up for expiry or renewal. It's important to note that the forward procurement plan is only a guide and that things might change through the year regarding what procurement method we're going to take or the timing of the market approach. But what it does is provide suppliers with an opportunity to see what is coming and prepare for that. I hope this webinar has provided you with an understanding of what local economic benefit is, the types of goods and services that Council purchases, the different ways Council undertakes procurement and evaluates responses, some tips and tricks on submitting quotes and tender responses, and how you can access Council opportunities through registering with VendorPanel. Thank you to everyone who's attended, and please feel welcome to ask any questions you might have now, or put them in the chat, or even email them through to Council and I can respond to you later.